they still stick with their usual gameplays or do they not? Because as of now, RSGPH, they are going to be on the blue side. They ban off the Link, they ban off the Kadita, they ban off the Yeep. This time they're just targeting on towards Sanji's heroes right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad way to go, right? I think you make sure that Sanji has a bit of a rough time. Let him kind of go deep, right, into his own hero pool, so to speak. I think that's okay, right? I think it's okay to target somebody. A lot of them are kind of generic in terms of what he could potentially play. There's a lot of opportunities, but you know, it's coming back to game 2, right? If we're really playing and we want to focus it out, like, do you want Sanji to really pop off, or you know, maybe you focus on Saida? Like, what exactly is your thought process here?
That's the thing, right? Like, I think what RSG did was their intentions from game 1 was pretty much shutting down both Sanford and Sanji. The San combo is definitely something they're looking forward to. But the reason why EchoPH lost was because there is this game-changing skill that kind of lost in the game, and that was pretty much a Franco coming from Light. So Light, even though he wasn't getting the greatest moves, he was getting caught off time and time again. But if you take the Bloody Hunt into consideration, if you get it on the right targets, there's just absolutely nothing RSG could have done. Echo could have done in game 1. In this case, Sanford getting shut down with Lapu Lapu just rendered him useless. It's difficult. So I guess, you know, taking out that part of the equation solves it. But at the same time, Light does have the tendency, he can play the Kufra in his favor. So it's something that he can use it to deny against Yaoi as well.
I mean, I feel like you need some sort of save, some sort of way to deal with that eventual hook that will hit you, right? You need some sort of way to kind of get yourself in there. But, you know, it's one of those situations where, you know, Echo doesn't want to deal with as they banned it early. So we won't see any more of it because I don't think they have any answers. But if we're looking at this draft now, the Uranus, Valentina, the Claude, you know, from RSGPH, is that good enough right now? Are you comfortable with those first 3 picks, especially in the first phase?
Okay, so I guess, you know, EchoPH this time, they've understand that based on their drafts, Zaida just couldn't do his own thing, right? First game, Eve as well as Carry just completely shuts down a Fredrin. It's kind of like a semi-counter, not really a hard counter, but it's definitely a counter where they can, you kind of take away what makes Fredrin strong, which is being very tanky, soaks up a lot of damage, can threaten you with just one big abrasive frag. Apparently, 2 of the heroes from the side of EchoPH, which that based on the ban is the Franco, the carry, just stops you from going any kind of combo. So I guess they just want to make sure that Zaida has a little bit better gameplay rather than Sanford and Sanji. Whereas RSGPH adaptation is that, you know what? I'm just gonna play the meta. In this case, Claude, you know, Uranus are pretty much standard metas coming from RSGPH. Now taking away assassins, I'm personally not a big fan of this, but they do have a good idea that
what's your command?
If they ban off assassins, it pretty much stops EchoPH and forces them to play the Fredrin in the jungle rather than flex it into XP.
Okay. I think it's also interesting to see how Echo is banned throughout, right? Like you see all the Franco, you know, the Carry, the Joy, all of those have been banned. And now the Dareth and Hayabusa from RSGPH. But, you know, this is a very focused ban on both sides, right? They're just trying to get themselves into a new game. You're going to see brand new heroes, so to speak. But again, going into this final list of picks that you could potentially do, Echo going to be here. What do you want going into that lineup?
Okay, that's the thing, right? Before we talk about EchoPH, this Dareth ban coming from RG is very interesting because it forces EchoPH to think a little bit open, right? Angela is something, I was about to bring up Angela. Like, do they go for Esmeralda or do they go for Angela? Because as of now, Angela being opened up means that the Angela Uranus is a force to be reckoned with, but because they ban off the Dareth, that means it forces EchoPH to play this Angela around this Fredrin. And right now, they need another 10k hero on the XP lane. So they need another hero that can utilize this. And RSGPH can't really take the Esmeralda away. You you know, Echo PH, if they go for the Esmeralda, it isn't too bad of a matchup against the Uranus. But, oh, Baxia. Okay. Did not expect it, but I like it. This is definitely a good one. But the question here is this jungle Baxia or jungle Uranus? Because I don't want to see a jungle Uranus no more. We did see one yesterday, though. We did see one yesterday, but Kufra, okay, very, very tanky heroes now coming for RSGPH. I like it.
Okay, okay. Is that enough to counter what you've seen? I mean, they're way tankier than Echo right now. But is that enough? I mean, it seems like the initiation, the revenge going in, hopefully getting onto Brody at some point, and Farza just making them kind of respect the space, so to speak. You're going to see them kind of running at you, but now you got the Angela to kind of help defend that. But the Uranus being tanky kind of as a second wave, is that going to be enough for, you know, the Claude to do the damage that he needs to do?
That's the thing. Claude will always be able to do damage for sure. But oh wow, okay, Echo bringing in the Alpha. We have pretty much talked about how Alpha is kind of very strong in the previous patch, but not many teams has played it yet. But is this XP Alpha or Jungle Alpha? Because I want to see, but it seems like it might be Jungle Alpha here for coming with Zyda. So we are gonna see like very early engages, and I like this because I was expecting maybe Esmeralda, you know, Angela Esmeralda combo is pretty good, but if an Angela is on top of an Alpha in early game, he does do a lot of damage. He's pretty much unkillable. But unfortunately to say, Echo PH does have the tools to deal with those early healings, and that is pretty much the Baxia as his passive ability. The anti-healing is gonna stop and negate some of the sustainabilities. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but because of this Alpha thing, pick, I kind of like Echo PH's draft a little bit more.
Wow. Okay. Okay. It's pretty much because of the Alpha at the end, or the Alpha Angela combination in the end that kind of just swayed you.
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. Like, it's Alpha is super underrated. You know, we talk about the disposition meta, right? Back in the days, you know, not back in the days, still happening. Your Kaja, Faramis, Blues kind of pulls you away. Alpha can do the exact same, but at the same time, he does damage. So I like the idea coming from Echo PH, but of course, execution is going to be key. So is RSG accustomed to this? I don't know. But of course, without further ado, let's see how this series is going to go. Game 2 between RSGPH versus Echo PH. At the same time, I want to see how this goes.
Yeah, I think we all want to see how this one goes. I mean, I haven't seen an Alpha in God knows how long, and seeing it here and just the impact that could potentially have. I mean, it's one of those things where if it does well, awesome, but I'm more afraid that you're going to see more of it in the pubs, which kind of scares me at this point.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think One Shell brought up a very good point here. The Valentina can steal the Heartsguard away from Yaoi. Personally, I don't think it's feasible if Yaoi just always stays hidden. But of course, when it comes to the gameplays here, Echo PH, they are getting a little bit pressured here. RSG already just, you know, dominating all the lanes here, applying, like, Outplay is just struggling right now.
Yeah, struggling, not having the greatest game. I mean, to start things off, it's, you know, I don't think, to be honest, I don't know if Zaida thought he was going to be playing Alpha going into this one. If this is like a known strategy or going in, but Light goes in for this one. They have a nice two-man knockout. Light has to flicker. He bouncy balls away, but Yaoi getting a little bit low. Demon Kite is on the prowl. He does get that kill, and he will secure that one. First blood going the way of RSGPH.
This is not a good start for Echo at all. Like, you know, RSGPH, they know that they're stronger in the early games in terms of denying those anti-heals, but I like that they're utilizing this right from the get-go, knowing that Echo PH needs both the Angela and Alpha to be at least like level 6, level 7 before they get super out of control. And by doing this and this much pressure, RSGPH is just limiting their momentum. But top side though, outplayed. Oh no, he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah, no chance. The Blazing Duet on top. Just nice rotation there. I don't know if they expected Aqua to make all the way down to the top lane, but Demon Kite is taking the turtle, and the nice two-man Tyrant's Revenge. That's going to be on point. Yaoi now running for his life. Sanford getting a little bit low as well, but the Appraiser's wrath. He turns it around, and Nats gets smashed as well. Demon Kite now on the run. He's been knocked up. He's running for his life. I don't know. Okay, he does get away, but that was a huge win for Echo.
That was clutch. That was clutch coming from Sanford. Like, if Sanford did not get the kill right there and RSGPH was just continue to snowball, that would have been a done deal in the early game for EchoPH. They have to play behind from all the way through. But interesting enough here, let's go to the emblems here as well, because we do see Tenacity being picked up on the Angela as well as Sanford. So they are looking for a little bit more sustains. I guess it's to kind of deal with the anti-heals coming from RSGPH, but considering how everyone from the side of RSGPH has it as well, so that means that they are going to be very, very tanky, and Outplay don't necessarily have the tools to deal with this. And I like that RSGPH they banned off the Dirok in this draft in particular, because EchoPH actually brought this Dirok Brody composition against Udo Red Giants in yesterday's games.
Yeah, I mean, they thought it through, right? They know each other and they're going in. But a nice little knockup. Nats running for his life. Ionic Edge doing a little bit of chip damage, but Nats out healing most of it. He's going to deal with his minion wave. This Uranus just being super annoying. But he's 0-1-0. I don't think he expected to die, especially that early in the game.
Yeah, I think so too. But of course, you know, early War Axe coming from Zai, the Clock of Destiny coming from Sanji, rather early as well, like 3 minutes in the game, despite being oppressed. EchoPH finally gets the timing that they need, and this is the timing they need, and hopefully they're able to execute it here. However, Aqua, Stolen Feather Extra, not exactly sure why he actually used it. I guess he's trying to zone out for the turtle and scout out the top bush, but EchoPH is just nowhere near there if you think about it. So that's going to be a wasted out coming from Aqua though. But this first turtle clash is going to be an important one for RSGPH if they want to continue their snowball strat. And EchoPH, I guess they just don't want to contest this, and it's smart. It's just not worth it right now.
Yeah, not gonna spend any sort of resources, any time. They're just gonna continue on. Echo, that is. They're just gonna continue to farm. Nats, on the other hand, did find Sanford, so he's got the energy eruption, and they're gonna play around with the aggro, and Nats will out heal it eventually. He gets back in. He's gonna invade the enemy jungle. Man, this Uranus just super annoying, right?
Yeah, this definitely did as well, but I'm surprised EchoPH, they're gonna try and force the issue here, but Sanford, oh, the taunt comes in. That's the worst timing to be in. Like, if you're on the player's heroes, it's fine, but the moment you're on the turret and get taunted, yeah, it's goodbye. There's nothing you can do.
Yes. I mean, there are 3 members there, but now Demon Kite, they're turning this around. They're doing a little bit of damage there. The Feathered Airstrike is going to be used. They do have the Brave Assault doing a little bit of a knockup, but Demon Kite will be fine. And Sanford just invading the enemy jungle, making it difficult for RSGPH.
But light! Oh my god, the Tyrant's Rage blinding the bush, but Sanji, what? He gets out just like that, and at the same time, they are gonna regroup here with the Hearts Guard to try and extend the fight, but EchoPH, they need to get out. Sanford, an awkward position. Demon Kite still thinking if he wants to go to this, but EchoPH, they won't be able to keep him alive. So I would say big clutch here coming for EchoPH.
Yeah, that's what you want your Angela player to do. Yaoi on point with that, making sure he did have the save. But again, you know, the next turtle is going to be pretty huge. It's going to be up in about 25 seconds or so. But Nats now does need to be careful. He's going to get gangbanged by 4 people. They're coming out from all different angles. They focused it out. And, you know, the Uranus, we're talking about the tankiness, but not against 4 at this point.
Yep, at the same time, RSGPH though, they are not getting those space needed, but again, they're playing a very similar strategy from game number 1. They want to make sure Iman gets his farm, and as of now, he does have the necessary tools, but he probably needs about 3 to 4 minutes of uncontested farm before he starts whipping out the big wombo combo AoE damage that is needed as well. And this is something that EchoPH will tend to struggle to deal with later on unless they have the necessary items. But of course, once again, EchoPH, they're gonna try to pull aggro away from RSGPH, and Sanford, he's getting chipped off really good, and he might die to this.
Gosh,
almost
barely away. Oh my gosh, he barely got out. That was so close. But now they're going to just take the turtle. It doesn't look like anyone's going to commit for this one. And RSG just get another objective after another objective. Very uncontested. Echo not willing to take any sort of risk.
Technically, they can't. Technically, they really can't here. And let's take a look at the items real quick here. Fleeting Time out on Angela, War Axe up on Alpha. Yeah, now it's definitely not the time as well, considering that Outplay doesn't have even the first item Taurus Spike, and it's just not worth it fighting against RSGPH, who's just so strong now in terms of, like, you know, the Baxia, the Valentina with the Clock of Destiny as well, like very early ones as well. I guess, you know, the goal time here is at least 2 to 3 items, and Echo PH will have the necessary tools, and they cannot afford to lose this. But Sanford is going to try and turn the fight. He's got a huge chunk, but Appraiser's Wrath, he needs to use it. He gets it. Iman will get collapsed, and he is going to take them down in RSGPH. They call for the bait, and Echo PH now is the time to strike. Demon Kite here tanking so much damage. Like, tries to go save for the day, but here he comes Zaida. Isolates him from the rest of the team out here, and they will pick another Echo PH. They find the right plays, and it's gonna be Sanford that makes it happen, and Zaida to interject for Echo PH.
What a play there. I totally unexpected Yaoi coming in with the Heart Guard. Just that save was on point. And you're kind of thinking, Sanford, 1 versus 4, can you do this all the way at the front line, just forcing the issue? And man, he was on point. And that's exactly the team fight that Echo needed. And it completely caught everybody off guard from RSGPH. They were not expecting this, but the Feathered Airstrike, now that's going to be used. Zaida getting a little bit low. He does have the shield. The Heart Guard again saving him, at least for now. And they're looking to go. The Energy Eruption throws back Nas. Sanford gets it. He gets the Brave Assault. He knocks him up, he takes him down, and he turns it around. Nats is down for the count.
Oh my god, Sanford, just an absolute monster, just kiting their way through, and Echo PH finally found the sauce to deal with this Vaxia. Push and pull, poke and choose your fights wisely, pick the fight that Demon Kite is not around, and dissect them. This is where they will excel the most on those healings, and every single time Demon Kite doesn't have his true unity, he's not able to get on top of you, they're just able to just out heal whatever damage we're coming from RGPH. So Echo PH, they finally found a way, but at the same time, is it over yet? Because RGPH still needs to rethink on how they need to take this next approach fight, because this Lord Pit is going to dictate whether or not RGPH is able to close out this game.
It's one of those things where RSG really need to know the cooldowns, right? If you're expecting it, maybe you force it, throw an easy Heart Guard onto it, but as I say, that time's revenge. They do end up finding Sanford. Do they have the save? They do not this time. Demon Kite will take that one, and now Demon Kite is a little bit low. They're going to look to go. The Lord is getting the knock-up onto Demon Kite. He barely gets away. They're going to continue on, and Zaida gets killed, and Sanji now on the run. He gets over the wall, but Outplay's been killed, and Lightning's going to secure that one. Nas is diving deep. He doesn't care. Yaoi getting a little bit low, and they're going to focus the attention of the Iron again, just doing some work, and Nas will secure that one, and now they've got the T2. The Lord has gone on by Demon Kite, and this is looking to be an RSGPH game.
Yeah, huge play from RSG. Like, they knew, like, Demon Kite needs to proc his passive abilities on everyone with Echo PH, and because of that play, Echo PH just could not buy the necessary time, and on top of it all, Nasus is getting so much value of stack 0 in his first skill, just chipping away at everyone from Echo PH. So first misplays coming from Echo PH despite doing so well thus far, but this gives the opportunity for RGPH to actually close out this game, and I won't be surprised, but I think our predictions might be wrong here, because RGPH looks like they're back in form despite yesterday's blunders.
Yeah, they're back in form. I mean, this is a very good game. I mean, the kill count says otherwise, but they're up in terms of, you know, objectives. That's the biggest thing, right? They have a Lord. They're playing this very objectively, systematically, right? Understanding what they need to do. And look at this. Lord is just crashing in this. This is going to be a huge fight. Sanford is up front, going to take out most of this damage here. The Lord is getting down. It's about a little bit less than half. Appraiser's Wrath will end up securing that one. They've kind of backed it off, and it looks like T3 has taken literally no damage.
Yeah, this is huge. This is very, very huge here coming from RSGPH. Like, this moment right here, they need to at least a tier 3 here at Light. He's going to try and zone it out. He's threatening with his Tyrant's Revenge, but I don't think it's going to happen. Looks like they will be able to defend for now, but RSGPH, they want to try and extend this. Light is looking for a target on Saji or Outplay, but no, they're going in.
Oh, image away. Eman barely stays alive. He's going to be fine. The nice little knockup. They found Sanford. The Feathered Airstrike, that's going to be used. He's doing some work. Sanford has been killed. And now Zaida will stick around, and a little bit of chip damage on that T3, but it looks like that's going to be it. And only one person had died, and that was Sanford.
Yeah, that was huge. That was huge. RSGPH, they needed to make a play there, and because of this, with the numbers advantage, they are going to get a tier 3 up top. So Echo PH, they need to find a way to defend this, but Light is always in a position where he can threaten the back lines. In this case, Sanji needs to be very careful of how he places his better dash right. Likewise can be said from Outplayed as well. But for now, RSGPH, they are going to continue with this snowball. And Echo PH, if they are able to defend this, it's all good. But 60 seconds left before the Lord, and it seems like RGPH, they want to play the safe game.
They're going to reset it, right? They don't need to rush it. I mean, Iman was doing some work on that T3, and I think it was fortuitous that they got it because of the fact that they were able to just burst it down. Echo was focusing their attention on the mid T3 at that point, so there was a little bit of space. They took advantage of it. Now RSG are going to take the enemy jungle on the way back. 40 more seconds to that Lord. That one will be key.
Yeah, I agree. But of course, you know, when it comes to this composition, immortality still has a big problem, and that is pretty much dealing with the anti-heals coming from Demon Kite, and also dealing with the damage burst coming from Iman. And right now, they need to choose a fight where Demon Kite is not around, and of course, Demon Kite starting the fight here. This is not a good fight here.
That's going to be it, and the Heart Guard's going to be used. They're going to look to turn this around. Demon Kite getting a little bit low. Sanford is, I don't know if he can out-heal this. He does get killed. Aqua will secure that one. Demon Kite has been killed in return, but now Nats is sticking around. It's 4-on-4 at this point, and it looks like they're going to disengage at this point.
A jungler for an XP. I think it's the best out of what they can ask for as well, but Zaida, he might get poked out here, Iman. Little bit too close to be called comfort, but yeah. Like I was saying as well, I think Echo PH, like, that was a little bit unfortunate, but Sanford tried to kill off Iman with his flicker appraisal graph. He almost got it, but if he got it, that would have been the turning point for Echo PH. Unfortunately, he didn't. And RSGPH still have control of the Lord, and you can see the power spike coming from Iman. He's able to just completely threaten Echo PH, and as of now, there's just nothing Echo PH can do. They need to at least stall this for at least another 2, 3, 4 minutes until at least outplay gets to level 15. And at this point, I think RSG can just close out the game.
Yeah, Echo made a slow rotation there. I mean, they had to have known that RSG was going to take the Lord, right? I felt like, you know, if anything, they could have maybe pushed the bottom lane a little bit further, provide a little bit more breathing space. You talk about the fact that they need about 2 or 3 more minutes. That would have done it. Now they're back in the, you know, turtling in their base. This is a very bad situation. Yeah, you have your T3s up, but if you're looking at the lanes and where they're at right now, they're going to eventually push, and you're going to have a rough time.
Yeah, and in this case, you know, when it comes to pushing as well, Zaida, he just got his Athena shield. I don't think it's going to do him any good. I guess it's to deal with both Nats as well as Aqua's burst potential, but eventually the biggest threat here is still going to be Iman. Currently, this Blazing Duet is pretty much there as a finisher, whereas Echo PH, they need to pick a fight where Demon Kite is not around. And as of yet, it is going to be the Lord that collapsed on the throne, and now Nats is going to try to hold them out.
Yeah, Nats jumps right in, not scared whatsoever. Gets the knockup onto Sanford as well, who gets a little bit low. The Heart Guard, that's going to be used, keeps him alive. The Lord is about half-life, but life, that's going to be life number 1. Zaid is going to be next on that list. He goes actually in, but he's going to be killed. Aqua will secure that one, and the Lord is still up. Light somehow still alive, and it looks like the Lord is bashing in. He's going to look to go. The Feathered Airstrike, that's going to be used. That's going to disengage everybody.
I genuinely feel bad for Echo PH right now. Like, there's only so much Yaoi can do on this Angela. Like, do you use the Heart Guard to save Sanford's life, or do you power farm Zaida, allowing him to just get out of control? Because as of now, with or without, Zaida just can't do anything right now. And as of yet, every time he makes a play, RSGPH just kites him around. And now RSGPH, they are going to focus on tier 3, and they collapse on them as well.
Yeah, they focus in on this one. Outplay getting very low, has to go back to the fountain to heal. The Feathered Airstrike, that's going to be used defensively, and that's going to slow things down. That's going to buy them time, but they have 0 T3s up. The base is the only thing standing. Echo are like sitting with a chip in a chair.
Oh, it's tough. Like, this is a very difficult game, and RSGPH with an 8k net worth lead. I don't know how Echo PH is going to come back to this here, but as of now, let's put the items as well. You know, at this stage, Iban is pretty much full slotted, whereas Echo PH, we have Outplay just so far away from his next major item. He doesn't even have his Malefic. Okay, as soon as I say it, he just got his Malefic Roar, but he still needs more than just that. And currently, he's just not doing enough damage to threaten RSGPH. This is tanky composition. He forced himself to get the DHS. Not necessarily the greatest value for a Brody, considering how slow Brody hits in terms of attack speed, right? Yeah, you have this burst damage, but you need to be able to utilize those passive abilities against RSGPH. And currently, RSGPH just like, nah, it's okay. It's okay. It's bearable against Outplay.
Yeah, it's bearable in that sense, but you know, I'm thinking like you see the feathered airstrike, it kind of stops everything. Sanji's done a good job of just the wave clear and just slowing things down. I think if they were able to manage to steal this Lord, that might be, you know, one of the many steps that they need to take to get themselves back in this game. But are they going to risk it? Are they going to try to go in for this one? I mean, they have, look at this RSG just completely controlling and forcing, you know, Sanford to, you know, to stay away almost.
Yeah, this is going to be tough here, but of course, Sanford, he needs to set up for the play once again. He is going to be the playmaker, but at the same time, look at his HP, he's going to get dropped, but the Appraise
that's
is
going to be used. Oh, he keeps him alive, at least for now. The feathered airstrike, that's going to be used. Sanford does die, not enough. They have the burst. Light is going to be killed, though, and outplayed, and that's most of the damage, and Nats is just going to run up on you. They don't care. RSGPH kills Zaida, and it looks like they want more. Nats doesn't care where you are, where your face is. Everything is open. They've taken the minion waves, and they're looking to take game 2, and they do it in style.
Oh, Amon just played an absolute game, and now they will continue to finish off the rest. Sanji left alone, and RSGPH is gonna take the game just like that. Clean 2-0 against Echo PH. Expect the unexpected. The previous championship lineup now back in action at peak performance, taking down Echo PH 2-0. What a game from RSGPH. What a game.
What a game. What a series. RSGPH really bouncing back. That's exactly what you want to see out of a